We're
Go
now
live a minute
live.
early. All right,
We're
so
li-
hit
we're li-
shifting gears.
we're live now.
I can hear him calling, reaching out 'cause I've been
Now do it.
falling. Eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth. Lie for a lie, truth for the truth. Turning my left cheek to fight the fight. Looking for the light.
Well, it didn't come up. Start shifting gears. Now, here
You
we
there?
go.
You got it?
Share.
Share, and it'll ask you to share it again.
Share.
And then you can go, then you can
There
click on it.
Go. It is Tuesday night, July 23rd, and we are shifting gears. I'm your host, Kurt Chase, with the other main host, Big Wheels Bo Carver.
Main host.
Can you believe this? July is almost over.
It's amazing how fast this year's
120 days
gone.
till Christmas lights go up. 120 days. I remember counting down from 364.
Well, it's really nice that we're having upper 80s and low 90s here in the latter part of July in North Texas. So it's nice to see that. It kind of puts a little fallish kind of feel, like school's going to be starting here in a couple of weeks. Most schools are.
My grandkids go to school August 3rd.
It's right around the corner.
Really early. And so they staggered the school so there's more fun. There's more venues to graduate. So they graduate like 2 weeks ahead of everybody.
Right.
But hey, we got a whole lot to cover here, and I want to let y'all know if you are looking for a home, you're having an issue with your home, making your payments, refinance, and what's going on with your mortgage, go to HarmonRobinson.com. That's HarmonRobinson.com. There's a lot of people that you can't afford your notes anymore. You're not able to refinance because of the rate. What do you do? And there's a lot of people that are just throwing in the towel. Don't throw in the towel. Get online, Google HarmonRobinson.com. I've known Harmon for over 25 years. He's retired, but he decided to go back into real estate and helping people. I mean, he is the BOMB bomb when it comes to looking for real estate, not sure about real estate, not sure how it works. And if you're in a finance problem with your home, it's HarmonRobinson.com. So, Big Wheels, what do you want to shift your gears to tonight?
I'm gonna put it in the what do you call it? The shaker move, shake and bake. And I want to bring up something real quick before I really get into the actual segment that I want to get into. Let me turn that thing down. Important calls here while we're on the air. um, maybe people know about it, maybe they don't. But just to bring it up, the director of the Secret Service, Kimberly Cheadle, I guess is how you say that, resigned today due to the mishandling, I would call it that way, of the attempted assassination of Donald J. Trump. And do you feel that's warranted, real quick?
Yes, I think when you come out and you go, hey, it's going to be a couple of months. So before we can answer any question, before I can tell you anything, and let the FBI do this, it's all BS. You're the head. You've already been told where the breakdown was. She just didn't want to admit it, hoping to save her butt. But to say that it's going to take 2 months to say we didn't stage properly, we didn't do it right, and like she said, she took full responsibility. And see you later.
That is they can make. And it's pretty obvious based on what is out there. And to let this thing go for 2 or 3 months while they try to cover stuff up or do this or that or the other. I mean, if you've taken responsibility, then yeah, it's what comes with the territory when you make that kind of mistake. So she's out. I don't know when they'll replace her, but that's a little bit of
Did.
okay.
Brought in a guy been with the agency. What's his Majorca? Just put him in, 23-year vet with Secret Service, so they have a temporary fill in.
Okay, so it's not really been assigned to that full time, just as a interim.
Right.
Okay. Well, there you go. Just a little bit of news for today, for tonight. But I want to get into something here that it's talking a little politics, but it's not. I'm not trying to do anything. I want this to be a conversation because I'm trying to find out something that it's kind of putting me in a place to where I'm not understanding things. And I just want to bring it up and let's have a conversation about it. I'm not slandering nobody, nor going after anybody. But as everybody knows, in the last few days that President Joe Biden has bowed out, and he's bowing out, I guess, 4 months before the election. I mean, what a
104 days.
104 days. I mean, that's crazy, isn't it? And there's only been one other president that has done that in the past, and that was President Lyndon Johnson. He did it 7 months before the election in 1968, and he made the announcement 7 months before that he was not going to accept the nomination by the DNC, and they just started having a lot of headache trying to find a replacement. And so that's what I'm getting into now. 7 months is still a long time. I think there's still, I don't know, maybe even all the primaries wasn't over by then, were they?
No. Well, they didn't want him anyway. I mean, if you look into the history part of it, they didn't want Lyndon B. Johnson anyway.
Yeah, there was a lot of problems with him.
There was a lot of, just like
Vietnam War and all. Right. There was a lot of issues.
Don't want you here. And so they didn't think that Lyndon B. Johnson was strong enough to do what the Democrats needed him to do as president.
Well, what I'm getting at, but I think there was still some primaries to be done to where they could see that he's not there. I don't know that for a fact, but I'm thinking 7 months. We're talking about right now. If you go back 7 months, you're looking at December, right? So most of the primaries were done in started in February, I believe, and most of them in March and April, like that. Am I right?
Yep.
So there was time for them to decide who they're going to pick. But now, I guess we're 2 weeks away from the the Democrat National Convention.
Mm-hmm.
So what's it, April 9th or something like that? Maybe 3 weeks. I'm not totally sure about that, but
August, not April.
Is it in?
August.
I mean, August. Yes.
Yeah.
Does that sound about right? August 9th, something like that. So they've got a lot of work to do to figure out what they're going to do, and that's what I'm wanting to talk about. I mean, when you get to a position to where you're 4 months away from the election, and we know that President Biden has anointed Kamala Harris to be who he thinks should move into his position. But that's not what I believe everybody's thinking from that Democrat Party. And first of all, let me say it's Democrat Party. It's not the Democratic Party. Let's correct that. I just want to make sure it's what people know. It's the Democrat Party. And I know a lot of people want to use that other word to make it sound like they're more Democratic than anybody else, but that's not their name of their party. But anyway, that's a sidebar issue. The DNC chair, Jamie Harrison, said there would be no automatic coronation for his replacement, and said in the coming days, the party will undertake a transparent, which I find interesting, and orderly process to move forward. This process will be governed by established rules and procedures of the party. Now, how do you think they really have established rules and procedures for this situation? That's the question I have, number
it
one.
all goes by the delegates, and the delegates have already said when they did kind of this backdoor roll call that she's already got all the delegates to be the next nominee. Guarantee Kamala's going to be the next one. And it came out today. She received about $80 million already.
I thought it was more than that, but yeah, it was a lot.
And it keeps coming in, but she's already, they said, got enough delegates where it doesn't matter who steps up. The big thing is now who is going to be her running mate, not so much is she going to get the nomination.
She said our delegates are prepared to take seriously their bring a candidate to the American people. August 19th is the national convention, the DNC. So it's in Chicago.
Yeah, August 9th.
Yeah, it's August 19th. And Harris has to be formally secure has to secure the national govern to about 4,700 Democrat convention delegates. That's a lot of delegates. You think she has that many?
Yeah, they said. Well, what they're saying is there's no doubt that she already has the delegate count to take the nomination. They're not even
Do you
gonna talk to
believe that?
anybody else.
Do you
I
believe
mean,
that?
how do you believe anything that comes out of Washington any day? But the way the money's pouring in, they know they can't. What it's going to take to shift the other $250 million around, the $90 million super PAC gets moved over. Yeah, they do, because they think because she was a prosecutor, she'll be a better fight for Trump. But if you just listen to her talk today, I don't know how anybody could trust the government with her in charge.
Well, it does
If you
scare
really want to be
scare.
the president, let's just say she does get elected, Pelosi and Schumer and the rest of those idiots in Washington are really going to be an Obama who's running the country, and she'll just be a puppet. She won't be the president.
Yeah. Well, they say that they have to get those delegates. That includes those pledging to Biden. Also, they have to get elected officials, former presidents, and other party elders known as super delegates, which I've never heard of before. I don't know what that means, but they all have to be into the consideration of making that happen. There's other candidates that are kind of wanting to be a part of this process. Governor Gavin Newsom, he would love that spot. Pennsylvania Governor Josh Shapiro, Maryland Governor Wes Moore, and Chicago Governor Gretchen Whitmire. I don't know what they're going to do, but then the other question is, and I'm sure they may already have it all figured out, knowing that bunch, and maybe had it figured out a long time ago, for all we know. And there's some scuttlebutt about whether President Biden still might be alive. Have you heard that?
No.
I mean, I've
They
seen.
showed him coming out the plane today.
Oh,
White House and
okay.
having his,
Well, I didn't see that
briefing, top secret briefing, and everything. Yeah, he's moving and grooving.
Okay, well, that's good to hear. I don't want anybody to die, but so what you think is going to be there, and how are they going to go? Is it if they choose? So, there's a little confusion part to me that normally all the past years that I've ever seen, just like that happened with the Republican Party, that Donald Trump picked J.D. Vance to be his vice president even before they did the delegate count. So what are they going to do here? Is Kamala Harris going to be picking that person?
Yes.
And then they'll do the delegate count, or what's shaking here? How's that going to work?
She can pick a running mate before she's even nominated. Doesn't matter.
So
Trump could
you
have done it months ago. He could have said J.D. Vance is my going to be my running mate, but they will go, roll right up to, well, they're going to have to do it quicker now and try to get, I think they're going to go after somebody white, somebody millennial like J.D. Vance. So you have that, salt and pepper routine like they did with Barack and Biden,
right.
and use it whatever state they're lacking in or too tight, too close to call. That's where he's gonna or she is gonna come from.
So you don't think it's going to be Gavin Newsom then, if that's the criteria you're talking about?
Gavin Newsom would be a knife right in the heart of that election.
Well, I think it is anyway if they pick Kamala Harris.
Bankrupt. California is in the worst financial situation of any other state in the union. So to bring Gavin Newsom in, you would have a left-wing, crazy bunch of cuckoos in Washington. And I think Gavin Newsom would definitely ice it more than I think it's already iced.
Well, I mean, that scares me anyway with their selection. If they do this, delegate selection with Kamala Harris, I mean, we're going to be word saladed to death for the next 4 years, even if we can even survive it. But I don't know. We'll see. I've been shocked before in the past over the last few years of things that's happened in our government. But I just wanted to talk. That's what I wanted to bring up tonight, was how that's all going to come about, because it's just so new. Everything's so new to the situation that I've never seen it before. And, even like when Johnson decided he wasn't going to run again, there was 7 months. There was a lot of time. They don't even hardly have time for a debate.
Well, they've already said she's ready to go and she's ready to match her accomplishments against
Her
uh,
accomplishments, her
yeah,
accomplishments.
against Trump. I mean, it's all political rhetoric and crap. You know what? When you look at the billions of dollars, and I think it's going to be billions spent to be elected, that's what drives me nuts about this. There's so many people in such bad spots right now, and billions of dollars are going right out the toilet. And the only one that's making the money are the radio stations and the TV and the cable news and everybody else to lie, cheat, and steal whatever they can to become an elected official to run their own agenda. Drives me nuts.
Well, we got a lot of people tuned in. We appreciate that. We've got Art and A. Smith giving us a big high five. And we got Jim Gibson, who's a good friend of mine, tuned in. And he said they'll probably choose Joe Manchin. Is that how you spell his name? Manchin, in order to secure.
He's not. He backed out
Okay.
of the. He's an independent, and he just announced the other day that he will not run or accept another position. So
Dwayne Harris says, Dwayne Harris says hi. We appreciate each and every one of y'all for tuning in. So he refused to take that, right? So he was saying it to secure West Virginia. So he's not going to be a part of that. So who do you think?
I think 4 years you're going to see him running. So
Who do you think? Who do you think that they might want and pick and encouraging her to?
Don't care.
No idea.
Doesn't matter.
Don't care.
I think Trump's going to win this thing. You know, this is what I've always said. I've had coaches that cuss me out, said things to me that today they'd be fired. But you know what? The bottom line was they pushed me into a position to be much, much better than I thought I could be. Worked me harder, know what my full potential would be. And that's what Donald Trump is. You may not like what comes out of his mouth. You may not like his tweets, but his results are fantastic. Absolutely
Well,
fantastic.
I don't think he'll really get involved in that tweeting much anymore. I really don't think that. And I don't know. I just don't know how anybody could think that we've been in a good position in the last 4 years. I don't care what your party affiliation is. Um, I'd like to make sure that everybody understands that Kamala Harris is going to push this black agenda about her being black, and she's not black. She's Jamaican and Indian. And that's something that I don't like when they try to do that. And of course, I know a lot of blacks still fall into that where they're going to believe that. And I hope they don't. I hope they really look at the situation for what it is and realize that that's not the case. But I know how the news media is. I know how things are going to be presented, and I know that's going to happen. So, well, that's all I had there. Hey, everybody, thanks for tuning in. We really appreciate that. This is our second edition of the Shifting Gears here on Tuesday evening, and we're going to be here every Tuesday from 7 to 8. Right now we're in Central Daylight Time, and then when it changes again, which I hate, I don't want to go back. I want to stay where we're at. But when we change, we'll still be staying from 7 to 8. And like and share and let everybody know we're here. We're several places where you can find us. Number one, we're on the Shifting Gears Facebook page, which you're seeing right now. Also, we're on LinkedIn. So LinkedIn is on my personal LinkedIn page there, which is Big Wheels Bo Carver. And then we're on YouTube. If you YouTube and do Shifting Gears, then you'll see us. I need to tell them exactly what the point is. I forgot I meant to do it tonight, but we're there too. I have two personal pages on my Bo Carver page, my Bo Don Carver page, and we're on Kurt Chase's personal page. So we appreciate everybody being tuned in tonight. And that's my my get up and go there for the first segment. And now it's time.
Well, I got two segments tonight. One is I told everybody I was going to tell you my 10 favorite restaurants. That's coming up after Bo's next segment. Stay tuned for that. I got a lot of people are going, what's your number one? And I kind of mixed everything up, and I have a little bit to talk about each one. I've introduced some friends to some places that just blown away. And so I'm going old school, new school, a little bit in between. But I wanted to talk about something that's driving me crazy. Driving me crazy, Bo.
I'm driving you Miss Daisy. Or did you say
Well,
crazy?
it was amazing. I got online a while back because now I take certain vitamins. I was talking about buying a gun, and I talked to 10 different people. 10 different people had 10 different ideas to go with. I
I
told
was
them
one
I
of
want,
them.
yeah, a pickup truck. And I said, you know what? If you were to buy a pickup truck, everybody's got a different story about pickup trucks. If you were going to live in a certain area, everybody's got a different story about a different area. I mean, everybody, when you bring them in and ask them certain questions, you ask 10 people, you get 10 different answers. I even talked to my doctor and I said, what are the best vitamins for me to take? What are the best vitamins? What should I be taking on a daily basis? So I went back in history to find out what people were taking and they lived longer. And you're not going to believe this. And when I fast forward, you will see how much it has increased on what they're saying the average person, let's say that you're disease free. You don't have diabetes. You don't have
Heart trouble or whatever, all these.
blood pressure. No, you're just your average, person. So back starting in 1941, when they started recording this, they said take vitamins A, B, C, and D, and iron. That's it. And you look back, and I was talking to some buddies. Um, in fact, my wife, her dad or grandfather used to dip bread in the old bacon grease and eat it.
So did my grandfather. I've told you that before. Every night, I mean, they would eat bacon and eggs for breakfast, and then at night, before he went to bed, he'd take a piece of bread and sop it in that grease every night. He lived till he was 96 years old.
I remember the Crisco can, and when you were done, you could drain that Crisco back into it until it really got nasty brown, and then you threw it out. But you can make a can of Crisco last a long time. And so then I
Yes.
said, well, in 1968, they added two things: B12 and magnesium. And so I started doing a lot of research, and they say that Alzheimer's can be caused by too many metals in your body. The metals in your deodorant, the metals that are a ton of metals in the water now, and all these different metals. So I'm going, why would they promote more iron and more magnesium based on everything that we're putting in our body? Shampoos in our scalp, the water we drink, deodorant, foot powder. I was going through all these
Foot
labels
powder.
of all the metals that are in the stuff that we take daily. And then I said, well, what's best for Kurt? So I put my height and weight and everything. I lied a little bit about my weight. But anyway, I put it all in there. And it was amazing how much information came back for the vitamins I need to take to live longer. And so I found in today, get this, in today, they have added B7, B9. B7 is biotin, B9 is folic acid, B12, K, chromium, magnesium, phosphorus, zinc,
Hmm.
potassium, chloride. And I went,
Chloride.
wow, chloride. There's a chloride pill. And it's supposed to, like chloride, clean your system out. And I was going, that is unbelievable. But there was a reason for it, though.
I'm all ears.
What did we have? What did we not have growing up when we were eating? What did we not have growing up that we were eating?
Let me think about it a second. That we didn't have.
Yeah, that we didn't
Uh,
have then, or very
Well,
much.
we didn't have steroids in the food or chemicals. I think being sprayed.
Preservative.
Okay,
All the crazy preservatives that are in the
keep
food
keep food.
to keep it last longer, shelf life. I mean, just think about it now. They have products out there with 25-year shelf life, 25-year shelf life. And so
Beautiful.
I'm sitting there going, wait a minute here. And so a lot of the vitamins that they're asking us to take are to balance our body because of all the preservatives that are in the food that serve with no benefits, no quality, and actually taking away the good that's in our body. And so there's one vitamin now that I take. I had to go through a bunch of them, and there's only one product that I take every day. Well, I do take a cholesterol medicine. My cholesterol is almost really, really low, and we'll see how that plays out on my next blood work and checkup. But there's only one vitamin, and so even with talking to a nutritionist, well, I got a lot of people involved on this. It was amazing that they were going, Kurt, you need, and these are products. When you were growing up, did you ever hear of turmeric?
I know they're pushing that pretty hard now, but I never heard of it until
Yeah.
recently.
Remember growing up, you and I were eating Flintstone vitamins. You know,
I don't
and
remember taking any. I don't remember taking any vitamins at all, to be honest with you. I mean, we
so
just
now they're
got,
saying take collagen every day, take turmeric every day, take mushrooms, not psilocybin, but all these mushrooms for inflammatory and swelling and I'm sitting there going, so this guy took a picture. He said, if you follow what everybody's saying, he had a board and he had 52 pills on that board. If you follow what they're saying you should do to take every day of your life. And I'm going, that is unbelievable. It's one of those confusing things that what's good, what's not good, what's hot, what's not hot, what should we be taking? And then this Shilajit, Shilijit resin. And they're saying, throw everything away, take that and turmeric, and you'll lead a good, healthy life.
what is that? That whatever you called it, that chirlin or
Well, it's
chitlins, chitlins.
it's a it does a lot for your body, including keeping your sex life happy and building your immune. The big thing is boosting your immune system. And as I'm going through everything, I just couldn't rack my brain around it until I saw the numbers. Get this: from 2000 to 2017, they were spending an average of $17 billion on vitamins. 17 billion. Now that doesn't include marketing. That doesn't include all the people you see on TV. That's just the purchase. Currently to date, it's more than doubled to $36 billion people are spending, and so much of this is online where they have all the pretty people look good, feel good. This will cleanse your body. This will give you a high sex drive and everything. And then I was doing more research, and with all of the new shilagens and turmerics and all these different resins and everything coming out, they're saying by 2034, people are going to be fighting to extend their life, and they're going to be spending almost $100 billion on vitamins
Now is that America
mineral
or nationwide?
worldwide.
Okay,
100 billion
still
dollars.
outrageous.
I'm
Well,
just I can't even wrap my brain around this. And so I'm doing a lot of research, and it was amazing where I found the healthiest countries in the world. But I want to make sure that I'm backing it up with good information to go, and I want to see their diet and what they're taking. I mean, I was just fascinated when I took a look at this. Um, and they said the number one problem is people will not get away. The American people, they want things faster. If fast isn't fast enough, fast food isn't fast food enough, high speed internet isn't high speed enough. They were going through all these things. And so I saw a study. This gentleman came over from Europe, and it was unbelievable what I found. This guy was 165 pounds, phenomenal shape. They showed what he ate daily. He had bread with every meal, every meal. He had pasta with two of his meals, all of this oil and cheeses and stuff that I create, salamis and all these different meats 7 days a week. didn't gain any weight. Now he packed up and said, I'm going to show you what happened. And he's got this, I'm halfway through his documentary, came to the United States on the same diet and put on 25 pounds. And I was like, that was
Yeah.
unbelievable.
Welcome to
And it was the
America.
exact same diet. And then he posted this thing that I'm going through. I just find it fascinating. Right now, he's at over 200,000 products here that you cannot get export or get anywhere else in the world. I'm going, how did this happen that we're consuming all of this and then spending $36 billion on vitamins to combat it? I'm going, this is absolutely incredible. And now he said, now think what you're doing. You had all these diabetic medicines that the people with diabetes are having a hard time getting because everybody's too lazy to do anything. And now they're hitting themselves with the pen.
Right.
And they talked about how many millions of people overnight are now hitting themselves with the pen. And he goes, and I will show you a study soon on how that happens. I'm like, I think about it and I backed up to when we didn't have all the crap that we have now. We were outside, we were playing. Everybody in the neighborhood knew each other. Everybody helped each other. Now nobody wants to know their neighbors. Nobody wants to get to know anybody. It's like they're afraid of their neighbors because it comes down, they think, to politics and religion. But the more I got into this, I was just blown away. So before we flip it, guess what the number one selling vitamin in the world is? Out of
In
everything
the
I've had,
world.
A, B, C, D, calcium, iron, magnesium,
You
phosphorus,
talk,
zinc, turmeric.
you're talking about pick one of those, you mean?
Pick one of those. Which do you think is the number one selling vitamin in the world?
I'm going to say zinc.
Vitamin D.
Well, that's a good one too. I started to say that, but yeah,
Since
that's a big one.
1941 has continued to be the number one, and now they say now it's growing even more because of the way they're processing our dairy. And we
Well,
don't
vitamin D. So I've been on vitamin D and zinc. Purple
Is that why
Haze
you're so
put me
pretty?
on that during. That's it. Help me. Look at me.
Wow. Wow.
During COVID, that was the thing that they had determined at her doctor's office that was a way to prevent getting the COVID, and it did. I never have had it, knock on wood, and I was going through a rough time during that time too, by having some chemotherapy and all that, but it kept my immune system from getting that particular issue. So I can see how that vitamin D. And so, but the reason is because of the products in our milk and cheese and stuff are not really.
All this processed food. This guy said if you would take and eat clean food, it would be the same cost because of what you're trying to do to offset the balance of the processed food with all of these supplements. And he said people are buying stuff and they're having these smoothies to cleanse their body after eating processed food all week.
Yeah,
And they're teaching
smart.
them how to do all these cleanses. I'm going, man, that's absolutely incredible. But I was blown away. I can't wait to watch more of his videos on the health of the world. In fact, I just ordered a couple machines. I'm going to be making my own sausage, my own beef jerky. I'm fixing to be making my own pasta. There's a flour you can have brought in from Italy, and it's not expensive. That it's actually good, healthy flour for your body. And yeah, but I'm going to change things. When I looked at the money I was spending on vitamins, I'm out. I mean, it's just absolutely incredible. He said, just think about what you're putting in your body, what you're drinking. He goes, people have forgotten about aspartame. They've moved on to the next bad thing. And he said, look back and every day look at what you're, read a label. People don't read labels anymore. They look for discounts and figure that's okay. And I get, with the recession where everybody is. But he said, even with the recession, there's so many places that sell good quality products. And then how you prepare it is paramount.
Well, we should thank the Food and Drug Administration for helping us with that. Let's keep it up the good work, and let's get those 3D meat out there and help us get better and live longer.
Yeah, we're gonna post that video for everybody to see. That'll shake you up. But
Yeah.
before we flip it over to Big Wheel Bo Carver, the next half of the show is brought to you by Eldorado Chevrolet. $14,750 off half-ton crew cab 2024 Chevy Silverados. They got 180 in stock, $1,750 off MSRP. So if you don't have a trade, or if you don't have negative equity, maybe a little bit of negative equity, you still drive off the lot in an equity situation. Plus, good raise, $6,200 off their Equinox, and a whole lot more. The place, the 8-time Chevy Dealer of the Year, Eldorado Chevrolet. Go to EldoradoChevy.com. That's EldoradoChevy.com. Back to you, Mr. Big Wheel Joe.
Can I raise my hand like Horseshack? Ooh, Mr. Cartier, Mr. Cartier. Okay, Mr. Automotive Edge radio show host Kurt Chase, a
Not in a
question
hearse
for
yet.
you. Yeah, I just kind of had to rephrase that to make sure everybody didn't think that. Nobody's aiming at you either, so you're okay.
Right.
Do you believe that there are different qualities of gas out there in our land at gas stations?
110%.
Okay. I'm glad to hear you say that. So here's the top 5 that they have said that is the best gas out there here in America. Number 5 is Sinclair. Uses the fuel blend Dynakyrie, containing several additives that increase engine performance. The additives are meant to optimize fuel economy and reduce engine deposits and lower annual maintenance costs. And there's Sinclair is not huge around here, but there's a few.
Sinclair Oil and Gas.
Been around a long time. Yeah, but that's they're not as predominant as some of the others. But they're good. Number 4, Chevron uses Techron, another fuel blend that prevents carbon buildup and breaks down anything that is currently in the engine. So
I use all the time to fill up.
I am a Chevron user. That's where I go. So that's my choice. I do have another one I use. It's on the list. Number 3, Mobil or ExxonMobil. Mm-hmm. They have been a leader in top tier gas supplier in the U.S. Their formula contains 9 additives that are useful to clean all engine types. So they've been around a long time, and I know they're high quality. I've used them in the past. I don't have a card for them now, so I don't use it as much, but I would if I ran across something across the street from them that I didn't agree with. So I'd pull in there for sure. Number 2, this was a surprise to me though. Costco. They're considered a top tier gas, and they're good. Their product is good for all cars. And also, if you have a Costco membership, you can save 20 cents a gallon, which makes it even more affordable than it already is. Now, I know you use Costco, right? Aren't you a Costco? I lost you.
You know how much money Costco makes on gasoline yearly? Nothing.
You're delaying a little bit. I don't know what happened. Talk to me. All right,
there?
I'm here now. You hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah,
you're reverbing through it. But anyway, Costco makes no money on their gasoline.
Is that right? Yeah. And what for? What's the reason?
I've been with Costco for many, many years because of their pricing. And then with your discount on it, they don't make any money on gasoline.
Well, they're still a top.
They make money on at Costco. Their number 1 selling product for all the Costcos, that would be toilet paper.
Crap. I can see that. Yeah. Two-ply?
Definitely.
Two-ply. Well, number one, what do you think it is?
I'm going to say Texaco. Go with the star.
It is not. It is Shell. They use a nitrogen-enriched gasoline that's worth the money, they say. I have a Shell card, and I use that too, and I'm a believer in that. I think they're all really good. We've mentioned, I may bring up down the road some of the not so good, top 5 not so good gas stations, but Shell they figured was the number 1 because of that nitrogen-enriched gasoline. Do you use Shell at all? Do you ever go there?
I do. Shell is the most expensive out of the bunch. If you pull up to a Shell station versus a, Chevron or Racetrack or whatever the case may be, they're by far that 8 to 10 cents more a gallon, because you don't see the standalone Shell stations. They're always connected to a quick, whatever you call it, like
Convenience
a
store.
7-Eleven convenience store. And
Right.
so, but yeah, I put a fuel additive in. There's a few places where you got to find it where you don't get the E85. Bucky's is one of them, and they've got a good quality gas. But I put every 5,000 miles, I put a gas treatment in my car. Every 5,000 miles without fail.
And just any particular one, or do you have a preference?
I do. There is a particular one that I use. I'm not going to advertise for them, but they really there's two out there that are the best, and I mainly use it on my lawnmower because the when the E85 came out, which is really 10%, really why they didn't call it E90. It's 10%, not 15%.
They're just covering their butt.
Was the lawnmower industry, good luck getting one serviced. It was gumming them up and creating a lot of problems with the gasoline, with the E85, the corn mixture, and they were going to help the corn farmers and all that BS. Never came to fruition. And so I put a winter additive in my lawnmower when I put it up, and then I put an additive about every
In the
5,000
gas.
miles on my truck. Yeah.
Well, if there are some there's a Bucky's in Denton that they sell non-ethanol gasoline.
Right.
So you can buy pure gas back it was in the older days to where you won't have that says no ethanol in this particular gas. And it's a great place to go for especially your lawn equipment, because that ethanol is horrible on small engines and it'll gum it up in a hurry. And if you can't find that someplace, then you can get those additives in there. And I use that especially for my lawn equipment, my riding lawnmower or whatever I have used.
Yeah,
I definitely use that.
I used to always tell people, put a bottle of that RXP in when it got down to a quarter, and then fill it up and take that puppy down the highway and blow all that junk out of your motor. And I had a buddy that we're not really a buddy. We became an acquaintance. It was actually the inventor of RXP. And I was shocked what it was doing to the car. And he goes, well, wait till you see what the new corn gas is going to be. And sure enough, it sure benefited a lot of people with repairs and cleanups. And
oh yeah, help them out a lot.
yeah, I use a higher octane. I use the mid grade on my truck depending on where I'm at when I look at it, and then I use the balancer on my lawnmowers and my lawn equipment.
Well,
a lot of people telling me to turn up.
Yeah, you want to go? Can you go back into settings and do that without losing you? Put your microphone closer to your deal. I told you that a while ago. Put that on your cheek, your microphone. Put your microphone closer.
Well, it is. I got it right here.
Now you can hear you.
I am loud.
Well, it's a lot better.
My meter, it is boom.
But it made the difference. So
do you go to Bucky's to fill up, or you're a Chevron Shell guy?
Yeah, I don't usually go to Bucky's in Denton, but
for you.
A little bit, but I have close places to go for that. Also want to let everybody know that Wesley Stewart's tuned in, says good morning, Bo and Kurt. And then we have Ralph Paul says, good evening, gentlemen. Art Naismith says ethanol double the price of tortillas in Mexico. Corn is used to make ethanol. So there you go. Well, thank you, Art, for that. But yeah, you sound a lot better now. So I'm sure that's it.
Wait, we're gonna flip things over, and we'll have Bo sign us off, and we got Ralph Paul on your CBD store at Keller.com. You talk about cleaning your body and getting healthy and putting good stuff in your body without adding a bunch of junk. Ain't nothing better than your CBD store, Keller.com. Bo's got all the testimonies. I've got all the testimonies. My dogs, family members, all the accidents that I've had, surgeries that my family's had. We handed out a bunch of the seltzer, and I'm getting phone calls all the time going, what the heck is in it? Well, it's better than all that beer and alcohol you're pounding down to get over your tough day at work. Go to your CBD store, Keller.com. That's your CBD store, Keller.com. And they ship for free, and find out about it. Just talk to the people there. All right. Are you ready?
Here we go.
Are you ready?
Okay. The first question I have to ask you is this local or nationwide?
Local.
Or just
everything local.
So we're talking about the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex.
That's right. It's all local, and a lot of this is in Tarrant County. Next week, it's going to be Dallas County, more so, and we'll get them all covered. These places that I eat at, and I would eat at, if it was my last meal, I want a bite of each one. That's it. If God goes, hey, I'm calling you upstairs, can I get a bite to eat? I'm going to run to each one of them and get a bite. And this is in no certain order, but my number one is a number 5 at Keller's Hamburgers on Harry Hines.
I knew that was going to be on the
With
list.
a
I'd have been
cheese
disappointed.
tater tot and a cold Dr. Pepper. And I don't care what's in the Dr. Pepper. It just works. Number 2,
By the way,
Eatsy's.
Will Sakala says, "Good evening, my friends." He's tuned in. The great Will Sakala.
So number 1 is my Keller's Hamburger. Number 5 with cheese tater tots and a Dr. Pepper. Number 2, if you ever have a chance, go into a Eatsy's. EATZI. And the one in Grapevine, if you get there around 8 o'clock, the ring around it turns pink and you can get all the discounts on food. It's all scratch food. Everything in there is scratch.
Wow.
Except for some of the canned stuff, their wines and whatever. But their dinner specials they have on Fridays, they got flatbread pizzas and a bottle of wine for really, really cheap. But everything that I've ever eaten there, their meatloaf. In fact, I finally got their recipe and figured out what it was that was making their meatloaf taste so good. And it was chili sauce. Out the hook. I love everything about Eatsy's. Number 3, Kirby's Steakhouse. My buddy Richard, who's been waiting on us for years over there. If you're not a lamb chop fan, go there. And I'm sitting here drooling on myself while I'm talking about this. Get lamb chops to start your dinner with. Number 4, one of the oldest pizza places around. It was there when I was a little boy. And that is Angelo's Pizza in Irving on Garweiler Road. Just get their cheese pizza. You don't need nothing on it. I took my son Zachary there, and you know what he said to me when we're done?
Where's
Dad,
this
why have
been?
you kept this from us? And we went there not too long ago, and it's still and it's cheap. I mean cheap. They still have the $6.99 steak and salad lunch special. You can't go wrong.
Wow. How do they do that?
Angelo's Pizza in Irving on Grauweiler Road. Just get a cheese pizza. And if you want some toppings, tell them to bring them out on the side. But I'm telling you, it is one of the best pizzas you'll ever have. And that place has been there forever. Don't look underneath the table. I don't know what's stuck to them, but who cares? It's been around 50 plus years. Their pizza is the bomb.
Probably their seasoning.
Oh, their sauce and cheese is just off the hook.
Sweet.
Next is Maria Del Mar in Roanoke. That's Maria Del Mar right there at 377 and 114. I love their Sunday menudo. I know not everybody's a big menudo fan. I don't have anybody that will go eat menudo with me. I don't know why. I love it. And people eat it for hangovers. I eat it because I love it. I mean, they're small pieces. The chef that cooks it, I've told him, you've got the best menudo I've ever been eating in my life. Next, a new restaurant, a new one. You got to check it out. There's all these franchises, and they say it's this place in Fort Worth and this place, and it's always hard to find it because I already know what Bo's favorite place is. It's not my favorite. It is in my top 5, but Outpost 36 Barbecue in Keller. And I got to tell you what, their white barbecue sauce, you could put on your Christmas turkey and it'd be good. You could put it on pumpkin pie. It probably tastes good. And that's Outpost 36 Barbecue in Keller. Love, love, love it. Next, Napa in Colleyville. NAPA, Napa. It's
Isn't that the parts store?
Yeah. Same thing. They're out. They shove the parts out back and Chinese food up front. No, I'm just kidding. Anyway, they have the cleanest, tastiest food when it comes to Chinese food I think I've ever had. I've eaten a lot of Chinese food. Let me tell you, back in the day, there was places that were off the hook, but now move forward and not having all the processed crap and all the monosodium glutamates and all they don't put any of that in their food. It is just clean. In fact, Ralph and Carol and Melinda and I ate there recently, one of my top. Now, if it's for breakfast, make the drive to 377 in Keller and eat at Huckleberry's. and bring your appetite, or, and it's a scratch kitchen, order one meal for the both of you, because their pancakes hang over the plate, chicken fried steak hangs over the plate, their eggs Benedict, it just covers the plate, and it's incredibly affordable for being a scratch kitchen. And we hear the term scratch kitchen. It is scratch. They don't bring in all the junk, and you can taste it in the food. That good thick cut bacon. Next, if you like Thai food, really like good fresh Thai food, because you can watch them cook it, Malai Kitchen, that's M-A-L-I, Malai Kitchen in Southlake. And we go in there and just try the Thai meatballs, and then get you either a bowl of pho or some pad Thai, and your life will change. Or if you want to spend about $22, get a rack of their ribs, and you just pull the bone out and eat the meat on your plate with a fork. Absolutely incredible. Malai Kitchen. Number 10, one of my all-time favorite places, and the reason being is I love the owners.
Okay, is this, when you did 1 to 10, is this 10 considered the number one, or did
No.
you just do top
No,
10
So
period?
when
There's no,
I got burgers, barbecue, Chinese. I got it all
Right.
on here. These are my
okay,
top.
I got you.
This one's a standout because I love the owners. I love their attention to detail. I've gotten to know them very, very well. We've rented their front part of their restaurant, 3 Barrels, for pizza. We've had the 20-year celebration there. My graduating class, we just threw a party there. And that's Ferrari's Italian Restaurant in Grapevine. Ferrari's Italian Restaurant in Grapevine. Francesco and Jane Secchi are the owners, and they have the best bolognese anywhere. And I'm a bolognese guy, and that's where they take filet mignon and pork and sausage and blend it together with different seasons. Let me wipe my mouth off here.
You're drilling.
Absolutely incredible. And then they have a carpaccio with olive oil and pistachios that will set you free. Now, because I don't eat raw meat, it is sliced so thin that you don't even realize what you're eating. But the way they take care of people, and the owners are table to table. In fact, Francesco, there's 2 meals on there that he will cook for you. And that is the veal and the shrimp dish. He actually cooks table side. And then if you want, he'll come back and cook banana Fosters at the table. And for what they give you, the servings, and then they bring in the front door and they take you down all their specials and the meats and seafoods that are already set up and ready to cook. Ferrari's in Grapevine. And I got to tell you, if you like stone oven pizza, you don't want a fancy meal. When I say fancy, it's not expensive. They have 3 Barrels, one of the best stone oven pizzas. You've eaten there with us before.
Oh, yeah.
The outdoor patio, TVs, bar setups, their wines and spirits are extremely affordable, but they make you feel special when you go to eat there. And I've always, the first time we ate there and I got to meet these folks, and now their son became one of the top 10 chefs in the world.
Wow.
And he has a restaurant in New York. And Jane was telling me it takes 3 months to get a reservation there.
Wow.
So there you go. Those are my top 10 to go to all the time. I'll be adding more. If there's some restaurants that you really like, you really love, go to kurtchase@yahoo.com, send it to me, and we'll check it out.
They can make a comment right now while they're tuned in. We got a lot of people tuned in, and they're.
You and I'll be on the road Thursday, headed down to Waco to try out a new restaurant. And it's been getting reviews. Everybody's telling me, hey, if you do a road trip, head to Waco and eat at Kim's Diner.
Where we're headed down.
We'll be heading down there Thursday to check it out. We're going to do a quick video on the food. And they said it's one of the few old school diners still left. And if you want the best patty melt in the United States, that's the place to go.
I'm guessing that's what we're going to order, right?
Well, they got a bunch of stuff on the menu. We got to order a bunch of stuff and pass it around. We got to try everything,
That's a good idea.
3 or 4 dishes, and we're family. We'd reach in the basket or the plate and grab you a chunk, a bite. Well, what the heck?
That's what we'll do right there. I'm looking forward to it. And what a great night this has been. I mean, here on our 2nd edition of the Shifting Gears, and we've had a lot of people tuned in and being a part of that, and we do appreciate that. And I also want to let you know that we're getting that Saturday. Don't forget our show on Saturday. If you're a newcomer to our Shifting Gears broadcast, that every Saturday we're on Talk Radio 1190 AM KFXR, iHeartMedia Network station, with bringing to you from 8 to noon the Automotive Edge radio show. And then we're on our social media sites, the Automotive Edge Facebook page. We share it to our Sisters page, which is Shifting Gears here. And then on LinkedIn, on Kurt Chase's page, and YouTube on the Automotive Edge YouTube page. So we're a lot of places on Saturday, and we've really been getting a lot of momentum and a lot of people tuning in, and we do appreciate that. You guys are helping us out by sharing it, letting everybody know we're there. We're here to help people there on Saturday, and then on Tuesdays from 7 to 8, we're just coming in. If you saw the show tonight, you see what we're bringing. We're just talking about a round table conversation of things that we'd like to bring to you other than maybe car information. We might throw that in every now and then, but it's not a car show. This is called the Shifting Gears, which means we're shifting gears out of the Automotive Edge into shifting gears and talking about different things. So
on next week's show, I did a survey, and then there was all these places they told me to go to, and I've got the top 10 destinations during COVID that people flocked to. Blew me away.
Wow, that's
in COVID that we're locked down. We can't go anywhere. We can't do anything. But I've got the top 10 COVID destinations coming up, and then once again we'll do a restaurant review. So if you have a favorite restaurant, a place you like, if you're Will Sakala, you are the mayor of Cotton Patch. And everybody knows and loves him. He did take me for my first round of Babe's chicken. I've never eaten there before, and I'm going to tell you what, I don't care about the chicken, the mashed potatoes and corn and their salad. I'm done. I could stop right there. So
well, there you go.
If you got a place you want Bo and I to visit and talk about, you want to come join us one day for lunch, we'll pick up the tab, buy you lunch, and then we'll talk about it on the deal. Because, it's all about, there's so many other things to talk about than all the negative crap that's on the TV, radio, whatever, all the time. And so we're going to be bringing more and more of that to you. Have some fun. And you're always welcome to join us wherever we're headed. Our last road trip, I keep telling everybody, go to Mineral Wells, get you a burger. Don't be surprised when you walk in that everybody stops and stares at you. Just go ahead and grab a table. No French fries, but a good burger and a good atmosphere, and you can't go wrong. We're going to continue that. So if you got that destination you want us to check out, or a destination you'd like to join us, come hang out. And our next destination will be the Automotive Edge Radio Show, 8 to 12 at Burleson Nissan this Saturday. Come on out. You'll do autographs.
Ralph, maybe. Okay. Ralph Paul says La Bistro in Hearst. Bistro in Hearst. So that's a recommendation by the great Ralph Paul with your CBD store in Keller. So
if there the other night, love it.
Well, there you go. Before we go, though, I want to bring up a death that just happened that I want to just throw out there to everybody that just when you see these talents just leave us, it's a sad thing. And Bob Newhart was one of those talents. Super talented guy. He was born on September 5th, 1929, died just the other day, July 18th, and at age 94. So he lived a long, good life. And I would expect because his humor and his personality probably had a lot to do with that. And Bob Newhart, what a talent. And you'll be missed in this world. So I wanted to throw that out there because we seem to be losing a lot of people here lately. Like last week, I talked about 5 or 6 people that we lost within.
How about one of the greatest spaghetti Western cowboys of all time?
Who was that?
Clint Eastwood.
He didn't die. No, that was his partner.
Do what?
His partner died, his spouse. It wasn't Clint Eastwood. Yeah, you left the air the other day, Saturday, when we were talking about that, and that was that was Purple Haze that had that false information, that fake stuff, and then everybody said no, it was his spouse. So Clint's still with us. So we don't want to jinx him.
Make my day.
There you go. So everybody, thanks a lot for being a part of our broadcast. We'll be back next Tuesday at 7 p.m. CDT, Central Daylight Time. And enjoy, if you're in North Texas, enjoy this weather we've got this week. It's fantastic. It's actually unbelievable.
Come
I
get
think
my
this,
pool. It's comfortable now.
well, there you go. Well, Kurt, great job as always. I'm enjoying this show. I hope everybody is. And as we go, we'll hopefully pick up more followers and listeners and be a part of it. We like the way you make comments, and we throw your name out there and let you know what people can hear, what your thoughts are and ideas. And if you've got them, don't forget to share them with us on this page. And Wesley Stewart says, another great show, guys, and we do appreciate that,
Thank you,
Wesley.
Wesley. Everybody have a great weekend, great week. God bless you, and thanks for joining us, and I'll see you soon.
And we're out. God bless. We'll see y'all Saturday morning.